A long time ago I sold my KTM 640 and it was a good bike. I sold it in good faith and at a fair price, and the guy came along and he took his bike away and I thought no more of it. But then on his first ride out, the oil filter came loose, lost all the oil and the engine was destroyed. Now that wasn't really my fault and it wasn't really his fault either, but somebody should have checked that oil filter, but nobody did. And that's why I'm making this video. If you've just bought an older adventure bike, especially online, especially from a stranger, you don't really know what you've got yet. It might be perfect, it probably is, but you don't know that yet. And until you do, you probably shouldn't trust it. Before you buy any accessories, before you plan a route, before you get too excited about where this bike is going to take you, you need to go through this process. It doesn't require a workshop, it doesn't require specialist tools, it needs time, attention, and the willingness to find the problems before the problems find you. And if you follow this, you'll get something genuinely valuable. Not just a bike that looks good on the drive, but a bike that you can trust to get you home. Start before the bike is even run. You're looking for things that tell you how the bike has been treated. Check for fluid leaks, oil, coolant, brake fluid. Get down low and look underneath. A clean engine tells you one story. Staining and residue tells you another. Look at the tyres, not just the tread depth, but the sidewalls. Cracking, perishing, uneven wear. An old tyre with legal tread is still an old tyre. Chain and sprockets. Is the chain adjusted correctly? Are the sprocket teeth sharp and hooked or worn flat? This tells you a lot about how the previous owner maintained the bike generally. Brake pads, front and rear. You can usually see enough without removing anything. If they're thin, budget for new ones before you ride. Cables, throttle, clutch, brake. Look for fraying, kinking or signs of wear at the ends. These are cheap to replace and expensive to ignore. And finally, bodywork. Look for evidence of a previous fall. Scratched levers, scuffed panels, a slightly bent foot peg. A fall isn't necessarily a problem, and on an adventure bike you're kind of going to expect it, but if it's hidden or if there's something that looks quite serious, you need to investigate further. None of this takes long. 20 minutes with the bike on the stand and you already know more than the person who sold it to you. This is the section that matters the most. Safety is always the #1 priority. Brakes. Squeeze the front lever hard and push the bike forward. Feel for firmness and response. Do the same with the rear brake pedal. Soft or spongy means air in the system or fluid that needs replacing. Steering head bearings. Stand beside the bike, hold the forks and turn the bars slowly from lock to lock. You're feeling for notchiness or roughness. A worn bearing feels like it wants to click into the straight ahead position. Get someone to push the bike forward while you hold the front brake and feel for play. Suspension. Push down hard on the front forks and watch the rebound. It should be controlled and smooth. Do the same at the rear. Listen as well as feel. Wheels and wheel bearings. Lift each wheel in turn and spin it. Listen for roughness, then try to rock the wheel laterally. Any play in a wheel bearing is a reason to stop and investigate before you ride. And lights. All of them. Headlight, tail light, indicators, brake light triggered by both front and rear controls. Simple, quick, and critical for safety. I know that this sounds like a lot, but it's better to find these problems now than 60 miles from home. You've done the static checks, now you need to ride it. But this isn't a blast to see what it will do. This is a purposeful, attentive, structured ride with one objective: to find out what the bike is telling you. Start with a cold start. How does it fire up? Does it need excessive choke or throttle? A difficult cold start on a well-maintained bike is something you need to pay attention to. Let it warm up properly before you push it. Then ride it. Braking, cornering, steady throttle, acceleration. You need to be listening and feeling attentively about what feedback you're getting from the bike. Listen for anything that changes with temperature, ticks, rattles, knocks. Sometimes they're normal for a bike, but sometimes they may be an indicator that something isn't quite right. If you're not sure, make a note of it and investigate. Feel the brakes under proper load. Feel the steering. And how's the suspension doing? Is it really kind of pulling its weight, or is it just along for the ride? And when you get back, check underneath again. Look for any leaks that weren't there before or any strange smells. If your bike passes this ride, you're in good shape. But if there's anything that raises any questions, you need to address them before the next one. Here's my position on servicing a newly acquired older bike. Regardless of what the seller told you, regardless of what the service history says, do it again. Look online for the service checklist for your bike. Most are available. For older bikes like the F650, online groups on Facebook, for example, are an absolute goldmine of valuable information. I'll leave a link in the description. Oil and filter. Fresh oil is cheap. Fresh oil in a newly acquired bike is absolutely critical. Check the filter. Make sure it's on tight. Ask me how I know. Air filter. Pull it out and look at it. Most adventure bikes run a foam filter. If it's dirty, clean it and re-oil it. Coolant. Check the level and check the condition. Old coolant loses its protective properties. If it looks dark or contaminated, flush and replace. Brake fluid. It absorbs moisture over time and the boiling point drops. If you don't know when it was last replaced, flush it and replace it. Check the spark plugs if you can access them easily. The condition of a spark plug can tell you an awful lot about how a bike is running. None of this is expensive and all of it gives you information. And at the end of it, you know what's in the bike because you put it there. You've done everything I've described. The bike has passed. You trust it. Good. Now, one more thing before your first proper ride. Things still go wrong. Not because you miss something, just because they do. A puncture, a loose bolt that worked free on a rough road, a minor electrical gremlin. These things happen to well-maintained bikes on good days. The question isn't whether something will go wrong eventually, it's whether you'll be able to deal with it when it does. You don't need a full workshop in your panniers, you need enough to get you home. Tyre repair kit and a means of inflation, CO2 cartridges or a small pump. A puncture 60 miles from home is manageable. A puncture with no kit means you need a recovery truck. Tubeless tyres need a different kit to tube ones like I have on the Donkey. I carry one front wheel tube because at a pinch it can work for a while on the rear tyre. A basic socket and spanner set covering the most common fastener sizes on your bike. Know which sizes you need before you pack. Screwdrivers, flathead and Phillips. They take up almost no space and earn their place constantly. A range of Allen keys. A multi-tool, not a substitute for proper tools, but genuinely useful for the unexpected. Spare fuses and a fuse puller. An electrical fault that kills your bike is almost always a blown fuse. Carrying spares costs nothing and takes up no space. Duct tape and cable ties. This is not a joke. These two things have saved more rides than any other item in this list. A head torch. Small, light, essential after dark or when you're looking into a dark engine bay on a grey day. Keep it light, keep it organised, know where it is before you need it. Now if you've done the visual inspection, the safety checks, the test ride, the servicing, and you've got a decent toolkit with you, you've earned the right to trust your bike. Not blind faith, informed confidence, and that's a different thing entirely. You will enjoy your days out so much more when you know what your bike's all about and you trust in it. And now you can think about where you're going to take your bike and what you're going to spend on it to make it even better. If that sounds interesting, the next video is exactly about that. Your bike is sorted, it's trustworthy, you can ride it with confidence. But now, where should you spend your money on accessories and modifications that will serve you best? I'll see you in the next video.